You like my man bun? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Creating Crimson's Fantasy. Before we get started in today's episode, I'm going to be incorporating a new segment into this wonderful series, basically going through your comments and feedback and ideas that you have and kind of showing you an insight about what people are saying within the community. And also this is kind of like a thank you for all the things that you guys are telling me and kind of inputting and helping me out. I really do appreciate it. And I'll also be doing a little bit of like shout outs and stuff. So if you ever have a comment or an idea or anything like that, feel free to comment down below and you might find yourself in comment time. As I work on this series, I plan on adding even more segments and trying to improve the production quality. There's a lot of stuff that I really want to get going, but if you have any ideas, please let me know. Throughout episode 11, and after that, I'm probably going to be improving things. It's just right now, I'm kind of short on time, so I'm trying to make with what I've got at the current moment. If for those who've been checking in on the streams, I've actually been working like constantly every 2 days working on a new episode because of how the trip was here and all that. But luckily, that's almost done. Before you know it, I'll be back. We'll be working on some new fancy stuff, potentially even juicier stuff than what we're currently working on. So stay tuned for that. Now, before we get started in today's episode, let's take a look at what we did in the last week. In the last week's episode, we looked at the targeting system, clothing, and the first test build that you can download right now. A link is down in the description. In today's episode, I'm going to show you the first enemy in the game, the new weapon tracing system, and improved vertical aiming. A problem we were encountering in the past is the inability to hit smaller objects like pots and small enemies. This was due to the fact that some of the attacks didn't slash downwards, so you never had the chance to hit things that were below the character's waist. To fix this issue, I applied something called an aim offset that's applied to the animations during attacks. An aim offset is basically a collection of animations of the character looking in different directions. Then it does some math to figure out which direction you're looking in, and that gets added on to the final animation for the character. This is a great fix that allows you to hit smaller things easier, and even gives you the ability to hit things that are taller than your character. Another issue we had was the lack of flexibility and accuracy with our weapon detection system. Our old system involved a hitbox that surrounded the weapon and checked for anything that it went through. But this method sometimes missed, which caused attacks to not register. On the enemy, for example, we only had 70% of attacks going through, which is unacceptable for a game like this. Another issue with this system was not flexible. It didn't give us enough information, like the direction of where the swing was, where you hit, etc. So, I took an hour or two to look back at my previous methods for melee combat, looking back at my last project, Blades of Ortera. In Blades, we use a method called ray tracing, which is typically used for things like guns in Fortnite, for example. The rays come out of the blade every 0.01 seconds, and 6 of them come out at the same time. This way, the chances of missing hits is super low. Another advantage to using this is the fact that it gives us even more information. Things like which bones we hit on an enemy, where we hit exactly, what the direction was of the blade, and much more. These new details basically allow me to add in some really cool effects that I'll be able to add in the future. Things like being able to know where I hit and even being able to add blood marks and stuff on the enemy. Some really cool stuff. The newest segment of the series, Comment Time. During Comment Time, I take a look at your comments on sites like YouTube, GameJolt, and Discord. If you want something to be answered on the series, make sure you comment down below. The first comment is coming in from AI. They're asking, do you do live streams of in between the episodes? Do you live stream your work process of said X feature? Basically what they're asking is, do I work on, let's say, a Wednesday on the live stream, and then does that get shown on the next Monday? Yes, it does. Actually, most of the stuff that I work on throughout the week ends up popping in to the next episode. That's generally how I work on stuff. This week has been a little bit weird because I have the whole vacation that happened. So I was planning things out really quickly, kind of trying to smudge a bunch of features within 1 or 2 days. But when I get back and everything's back to normal, everything that you see within a week is probably going to pop up in one of the devlogs in one of these videos. So that's basically how to answer your question, AI. Thank you for the question. I do appreciate it. The second comment is coming in from Count2G. Fantastic work, David. You're on a path to something great, both with the game and with entertainment. Thank you. Remember that these country roads will last for a very long time before you start to see anything at all. In that travel time, make sure to take in the scenery, but never pull over. Always charge on ahead. Some wise words, Count. Some wise words. I've known Count for a really long time, And honestly, this adventure has been fantastic working in game development, and I'm hoping that it is even more fantastic for the years to come. I've been getting a lot of these kind of messages, and honestly, I really do appreciate it, everybody. The amount of love that's coming in and the amount of support for the project is overwhelming, and I'm hoping that everybody enjoys it and enjoys the process. As he says, honestly, the process is everything. The end product is cool and all, but the process is the most fantastic part, really. It's awesome being able to get all this feedback, and everybody kind of seeing the process of game development is one of the whole reasons for this whole series. The third comment is coming in from Paradox Psycho 2K. They're saying, are you blueprinting or using C++? I'm not much of a coder. Anyway, keep up the good work. One, thank you. I do appreciate that a lot. But yeah, at the moment, we're using blueprints for basically everything. Thank you for all the questions. I really do appreciate it. Questions, comments, feedback, and just the really kind words. I really do. It's amazing being able to do this and seeing so much love from you guys. If you ever have a question or feedback or an idea, comment down below. Go on Discord, go on Twitch, Game Jolt, literally anywhere. I'm looking at all this stuff, even Twitter and my emails. Send me an email. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Send me a message in a bottle. I don't know, whatever you want to do. That's up to you. You can use any of those sites to kind of put in any words or any comments that you might want to see in this series, and I'll try to answer it. If you enjoyed this segment, let me know down in the comments. The first ever enemy in Crimson's Fantasy, the Testing Bear. The Testing Bear and his animations come from a free UE4 marketplace asset pack called Infinity Blade's Adversaries. So I didn't create the bear. I do intend on using the bear in the game, but it has to be retextured to fit the game's art style. For those who want to learn how to create enemy AI and use the same documentation that I use to create the base of the AI, the link is below in the description. AI is something I've worked on about a year ago on a game jam called Thin Wick. However, since then, I haven't worked on any AI. So using this documentation was a really nice refresher into the systems. The AI is relatively simple. It detects whenever the player is nearby, and it starts ray tracing towards you. The ray trace is used to see if you're in the bear's view. At the moment, the bear has a 360-degree sight. This will change in the future, allowing for backstab attacks and stealth. Then, when it successfully reaches the player, the bear is alerted and starts walking towards you. After the bear is done walking and it reaches the player, if the player isn't running away, which I'm pretty sure everybody would be running away from a bear, it starts attacking you. The attacks use a plugin called Able Ability Plugin. It's a plugin I bought when I was working on Blades, and it's finally coming to use again in this project. I can do a whole lot through this program. I can create buffs, debuffs, cooldown, and much more just using this system. For now, I use it as a way to create attacks for the bear. The bear is just a stepping stone towards more advanced AI for the game. It's going to be used as a test, and will most likely pave the way for grunts, trash mobs, and smaller enemies that don't have much brain power. Like me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, feel free to like the video and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Just so you know, I'm still away at the moment on my vacation, but in about a week, the next week, or the next video coming up during episode 10, I'll be back, and I'll be having my return live stream, and I'd love to have you there. I'd love for you to hop by and say hi. You don't have to be there for long. I really do appreciate any sort of love. I hope to see you then, and I hope you have a fantastic evening. Thank you for watching this episode. I'll see you net.